So I'm a big fan of using Sharpie markers while I work. But when I'm buying new ones, I always get a little bit confused about which one I need. So I want to do a quick video about the ones I use the most. This is a standard Sharpie. It's called the Fine Point. It's kind of the one you have. It's in every office. It's in almost every desk drawer. This is called the King Size. This is the smallest Sharpie that I know about that uses the aluminum body that you see in some of the professional models. Then there's the Magnum. This is, as far as I know, the largest Sharpie that's made and the kind of big brother of the King Size. There are some models in between the standard Sharpie and the King, kind of like the Sharpie XL and some things like that, but I tend not to buy them. Because between these three, all my needs are met. So here's the Fine Point. It has that sort of standard point, I guess. It always gets worn down, so it's kind of like a nub like this. It is felt point and it has a plastic body. This is the King Size. You can see it uses a larger clip, or cap rather, has the aluminum body, and it moves over to a chisel point. Chisel point wears much more nicely, especially when you're using it with rough surfaces like wood. The Magnum also has the aluminum body and the industrial type cap, which definitely never wears out. And I've never broken one of these clips. They are quite strong. And that has a very large chisel point. In fact, it's so large that it has tapers on the side. Tapers tend to wear, but it does have some tapering there. And that is a giant point. It's almost like a paintbrush. So the King Size is really what most people are going to want from a large Sharpie. This chisel point is not much larger than a standard marker. It's probably like maybe 3 standard markers, but it's not gigantic either, whereas the Magnum is just huge. So I'll do a quick drawing. So here is, we'll start with the King Size. And these ones are well worn, so don't think that they don't fully saturate when you're writing. And just for comparison, I'll see if this guy still writes. Yep. So there's a size comparison. If we're looking at that using like conventional measurement, we have, call it in an 1/8 of an inch, and this one is 3/16 or something like that. That's the vertical King. Here with the sideways King, you're looking at about a good 1/4 of an inch. And then the vertical Magnum, again, right about a 1/4 of an inch, a little bit larger than the horizontal King. And lastly, we have the full-on horizontal Magnum, which is over a 1/2 inch wide. So that is quite a large marker. Like I said, it is kind of just like a paintbrush. And then it also has a little bit of give to it. So it does tend to spread a little bit, and that'll be more pronounced on paper where you're getting so much ink through that it's going to spread. So that is just a quick look at some very cool and highly recommended Sharpie markers.